how did joy change your life?
Oh my God, I was in the middle of suffering. And suffering is just basically going over the same thing over and over and over, and it was the same horrible things over and over and over. The thoughts that I was holding that were hurting me so much. And you know, the world would have said I had every reason to suffer, but you know what, I didn't want reasons. I didn't want to suffer anymore. And two things happened. I boxed myself in because I refused to suffer. It wasn't just I want to feel better, it was zero tolerance. I couldn't commit suicide because I promised my dad. So that wasn't the way out. And I wanted only love and joy for myself and for others. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't even know if I could do that. There I was, caught in this box with no known way out. And I was going back and forth between, I want this, but you don't have that. But I want this, but you don't have that, was the reality. And it was excruciating. And I came to point zero, no more suffering. And I just stopped for a moment. It wasn't very long. But it was long enough to hear, you can give yourself whatever you want. I can. And then I went back into the wanting. But I hadn't missed it. And this was now in the mix. And I was thinking, I can give myself whatever I want. I want this. You can give yourself whatever you want. Oh. And if that were true, it occurred to me that it must be within, not outside. And what I wanted was outside of me. So I turned within. And I looked for everything that I wanted. The love, the acceptance, the human dignity. And it was all there. One by one, I identified each want. And my attention went on to what I do want, not what I don't want. And all that energy, it was very powerful energy that was being used to suffer, flipped over into this joy, love, peace. That was so hard for the mind to accept. And I used to believe the mind at that point, so it would flip back and forth. Because mind would come up and say, but you can't feel that good because A, B, C, D has happened. And I would go back into the pain and the suffering. And then, no, that felt good. What's going on here? And then I would shift my attention back again on what I did want. And there it was again, the immediate relief. Every time I did this, it was there. So I learned to sustain it. I learned to hold it. I learned to ignore what I now call old mind. And I learned to stay with the peace and the love and the joy. And it was earth-shattering because it went against everything I've ever heard, been told, saw on TV. You know, I had friends and family. The whole of society conditions us to believe that we need others or things for our happiness, for our joy, our love. And it's a complete lie. Love, joy, peace, happiness is here for each and every one of us now, unconditionally, unlimited. You need to do nothing for it. You need to have nothing for it. One of my favorite teachers says, you don't need a thing to be happy. It's your natural state. You need a thing to be unhappy, like an unhappy thought you're believing. I was done with